Mei versus Sage. I thought the patterns in the games were very interesting, and I love the minor details in Sage's play. Now lately, I don't know if you guys know, but I've streamed a lot of StarCraft. I'm playing more than I think I've done ever since my time in Germany. I finally have a lot of time again to play, and I'm making the best of it, and I can definitely see a lot of improvements in my play. And I want to show you guys 2 of my replays. Now the first one, guys, there's a story behind this one. People often ask me like, hey Rotti, what are your pickup lines? Well guys, I have absolutely no pickup lines. I'm actually not even all that good. But if you ever know a girl is into bad boys, you just go to her, so I heard you like bad boys? And if she says yes, you can say, well, I play PvT, Nexus first, no scout. Now that's living dangerous, guys. So if you tell her that, then you can also perhaps show her this replay. So I say we should jump into game right now. You guys can see the loading screen. Actually, I'm not sure if you guys saw it. Now, I played against this guy before, and he knows that I like to live dangerous. And with that, I mean Nexus first, no scout in PvT. If you guys think, well, that might be suicide against certain builds, well, yes, if they proxy 8-Rex Reaper, you're going to be pretty much dead. And other scenarios, well, not all that often. So this is the second time on a row I played against this guy. And this is actually, normally I don't really do this, but this was a replay I was really proud of. So I want to share it with you guys, and also want to tell you guys a couple of the things. So this is the second time I play against this Terran, who is Grandmaster League, by the way, on North America. And, well, as you guys know, I like to live dangerous. And with dangerous, I mean Nexus first, no scout. So I do know that I played against this guy before, so I will scout a little bit. I will scout around my base, see what kind of proxy I could potentially have to deal with, or if it's going to be quick winter mines. And quick winter mines will actually not kill you. You will have still an observer in time. So I wasn't really all that worried. I have my probe here. I was like, well, we might see a Reaper soon. The Reaper is annoying, but with a Zealot I bide some time, and then I get a Stalker, I will be fine. And suddenly I'm like, what? Wait, what? 3 SCVs? And then I see this. I'm like, oh my god, this can't be true. What I do know, in a scenario like this, guys, the first things you want to worry about is make sure that this bunker not goes up. Well, guys, what did I do? I let the bunker go up. Ignore that fact. The other thing you should always think about is, hey, okay, I have no units, but what I do have is a lot of probes. And probes against Marines alone are actually not all that bad. Certainly not when you know you have a big probe advantage. So you're just going to try to make the best of it. Now, normally this would be a situation where you're in a lot of issues. But I overpulled probes because I figured, hey, if this really stabilizes, if he gets SCVs, if he gets a lot of Marines in the bunker, I'm going to be in trouble. So I immediately pulled a lot of probes. I picked up a couple of Marines, and I bought enough time for the Zealot. Now, this is the first mistake I make. Won't be the last one, no worries, guys. Despite practicing a lot, I'm still full of mistakes. So I lose 1 or 2 probes too many here. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Taking a look at the work count right now, I'm actually like in reasonable shape, right? That's pretty bizarre. Nexus first. But of course, this is not over yet. And the more Marines he produces, as soon as he gets enough Marines to dance around my Zealots, I'm still going to be in trouble. So I did not consider this a win yet. I was like, all right, here we go once more. 4 or 5 probes, a Zealot. I'm scaring the Marines away, which means that the new Marines will be separated from the old Marines, which is much better. If I have to fight 6 Marines at once, the DPS is high, I will lose a lot of probes. Okay, here I know I'm going to lose the Zealot, but doesn't matter. I push those Marines away, and I already sort of took care of the new Marines. During all this, I still make probes, and I was like, hey, you know what? Eventually, I might be able to stabilize. Then I was like, 4 Marines, or that's going to be tricky. Now he's going to get 2 more, so he has 6 Marines. So I'm like, all right, here goes nothing. So once more, this is a scenario where you're just going to have to kill probes, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. I'm going to send them over here because I do not want to let them run down the ramp. So I'm kind of doing this here, and I was like, hey, this didn't go all that bad. This was a little bit silly by me. Like on this moment, everything went fine, and now I should have just let this Zealot in front, maybe with backup of 2 probes, deal with these Marines once more. Like this is horrible by me. Never do this at home, guys. I have a low HP Zealot here, absolutely no reason to have him here. Then I have a probe in between. It's like, oh, come on. Can this get any worse, Rotti? Of course, guys, it's me. Look, the low HP Zealot goes in front, then his Marine. Alright, but in the end of the day, looking at the bright side of things, I am still clearing this up. And yes, right now I lost a lot of probes. But hey, I am the guy on 2 Nexus. Now, I want to share something with you guys. Well, this Marine pressure still goes on a little bit, but I know as soon as I have my first Stalker, which slowly but steady I gathered the resources for, here I lose 1 or 2 more probes, which was a little bit unfortunate because that actually puts him ahead in workers. I'm just going to send the probes here, keep the probes alive. He has like 1 more Marine being annoying over here, but I will take that care. As soon as I have the Stalker, I know with decent micro you're never going to lose the Stalker. So I'm like, alright, I stabilize. Taking a look, state of the game. Well, 2 base against 1. Of course, I do not know how far along his base is, how many SCVs he has, but basically I feel right now I have one choice, and that is either be defensive and be worried, or just make a lot of probes, try to stabilize and hope that this costed him more than I perhaps thought it would. 2 weeks ago I played a game against the Muslim on ladder on Whirlwind, and I felt I played pretty well, but in a certain phase of the game the Muslim wouldn't be the Muslim if he started dropping me all over the place and things just kind of snowballed, and eventually I couldn't wipe in enough units to deal with it anymore. After the game the Muslim sent me some text because we're really good friends, and obviously he has my number as well, and he said like, yo broski, you played pretty well, I could tell you exactly where you went wrong. I was like, oh well, tell me, I would love to know. He's like, you did fine everything on 2 base and even your 3rd base was on time. He's like, but then you kind of forgot to build probes. He's like, you should just always build probes. He's like, we were doing fine, it was kind of even, and suddenly I'm 10, 12 SCVs ahead. That's a big mistake. He's like, you should work on that. I was like, oh, cool, Ben, thanks. After that, I've been focusing so much on my pro production in this matchup, and I have never felt better against Terran than I do these days. Of course, that doesn't mean that I win all my games or something, because at the end of the day, I still have so much to learn. But yeah, it is really hopeful to me that this is probably my best matchup at the moment. And if you would have told me at the height of this farm release, hey Rotti, 1 month from now on, your best matchup is going to be against Terran, I would have said, bro, stop drinking or stop 420 blazing it up, because it's not going to happen. I'm still going to lose a lot against Terran. So in this moment, I'm just producing probes non-stop, non-stop, non-stop. Take a look at this. Suddenly I'm 10 workers ahead. Of course, I am worried about the first stim moment, because this is a bizarre game. I'm not sure when it would come. Normally it would already come, but I know that it's obviously delayed because of the early phase. So what I do is I just keep building probes, get quite some gateways out, and I do blink first, because blink is awesome against drops. You can blink below the medevacs, and I feel with a mothership core, I do not really have to worry. I think I get the core real soon, or I already have it. Yeah, I already have it. God knows where. Okay, it's over here. I feel that I don't have to worry about the straight up fight, because as long as I get a cannon soon, sorry guys, I thought it's gonna get a cannon, I get double forge as well, because now I'm already hopeful that, hey, I might be able to throw this into the late game. And if this goes on a little bit longer, if I survive to the moment I get blink, man, I'm actually feeling very confident. I have a stalker here, I have a zealot here. As long as I see this, I know I can still invest in tech. I have some vision, so I'm just feeling like, hey, I can still make probes. As you guys can now already see, 49, 50 workers. I'm even gonna drop the Templar archive. Some people might say, hey man, you're crazy, you barely have any units. Yes, but I do have map vision, and you shouldn't forget I do have 5 gates and a purify. So the moment I warp in 5 stalkers and have purify, I should be fine against 2 medevacs bio units, which is what I'm expecting. So in this moment I also know that I'm pretty fine on my economy, 22 probes. Do not think that's oversaturation, because it's not. You want to have so many probes, because the moment you want to go up to 3 bases, you don't want to start producing probes. Like, of course, a lot of people say like, 16 is fine, you got 16 here and then you stop. No, that's my biggest mistake in the past. I always thought if I have 6 on gas, 16 here, 16 here, 6, I can start producing units, right, and focus on my upgrades. No, that's wrong. You want to keep making probes. That's important, because then the moment you go up to 3 base, you will have that base easily saturated, and that's something that I didn't really work on in the past, and now I did do it. I did see this army move out, so I'm gonna write, you know what, I'm gonna pull back my stalker, know the observer as well. So important. You want to be able to spot drops. I like to put my mothership core in between both bases, so I can purify this one, I can purify this one. Now I do know that I'm gonna need bigger production soon, so I'm gonna add 3 more gates. Storm is not ready yet. He's just gonna fly in over here, which surprised me a little bit. Can I get purify off? Yes, I do. And now I'm already pretty confident here. I have feedbacks. I just feedback morph into an Archon. Stupid move command by him, but I guess he was regrouping with these units. Stalkers are in a little bit of trouble, but I know with purify, with an Archon, with the 5-6 gates I have, I will be fine. My upgrades were not ready yet. That's a little bit unfortunate, but this was a crazy game. The timings, I couldn't possibly do anything about that. But I'm just feeling like, hey, I made so many probes. I'm really liking my position now. I have Storm Tag ready. I have 7 gates. I'm on double forge. So I'm going to get 2 defensive cannons, because I'm afraid that if he splits my army up even more, I might be too weak. So I have 2 cannons over here. I should always have a High Templar over here as well, which I will get later. So he's going to do the same thing again. But this time it's already a little bit easier for me to deal with it. So at this moment you can already see me going up to 3 bases. And the reason why I have those minerals is also because I made so many probes. And don't think that... what do I want to say? I'm kind of losing my own train of thought here. Don't think that's like too over eager, because it's not. As long as you have all these gates, as long as you have purify, I have some cannons here, I have cannons here, you can go up to 3 bases immediately. Yeah, he has a small little hit squad here, but even 2 zealots will buy me the time to bring over the rest of my army. So in this moment I'm like, man, I'm actually gonna win this game. That would be really bizarre. I'm like all pumped and stuff. So I'm currently boosting out my upgrades because I know as long as I keep those upgrades going, I will be fine. I cannot fall behind on upgrades because then I will lose the game. I do have the High Templar right now in case of feedback. I do not think I ever used it this game. On this moment, I keep the Mothership Core between my second and my third base, just because I feel that in the main I have all these gates, I have a High Templar, I have cannons. It's unlikely that I really need to warp in something over here, and I left 3 Zealots behind as well. So right now, I either want to have Purify here, or I want to have Purify here. If you guys think like, wow, is this Bronze League? Why are you building so many cannons? No, I actually feel right now, because I'm working so hard on my upgrades, I'm getting Templars, that it is fine to get those cannons. As long as I put my High Templars in good positions, as long as this game goes on a little bit longer, I'm going to be in really good shape, because I thought he's still on 2 bases. Well, actually he wasn't 3, but his economy was still not particularly impressive. So I'm really digging my position now. I know it's going to be tough, I know I still have to do it well. This was a very smart nuke by him. I definitely recommend Terran players to do that, because now I'm like, I would have loved to fight his army. This High Templar didn't have Storm yet, by the way. But like I can't risk it running into that nuke. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice the Nexus. This is also something that I had to learn the hard way. In the old days I was always like, oh my god, Nexus, third base, it's so important, I have to go right, I have to go. No, sometimes it's really better to stay calm. And actually this is something that took me 5-6 years, guys, because I still remember countless of Warcraft 3 games where I was like, oh my god, my expansion is under attack, Town Portal, and then I Town Portal and I realized, if I would have waited 10 seconds with a Town Portal, I would have had a Kodo Beast and perhaps another Raider, and I would have actually been able to win that or buy a Healing Scroll. Sometimes, despite how important you think something might be, stay calm and make sure you make the right decision. I lost at Nexus, but I didn't care too much. I'm also transitioning into Colossus play, getting Thermal Lens, still having that Zealot over here. Of course, by this moment, by now I'm wondering, like, is this guy still on 2 base? Because that makes no sense at all. And I will scout it real soon that he actually wasn't. That was a small mistake by me. I would also like to point out High Templar position. Do not keep all High Templars together. I have one here. It's a backup High Templar. I have one here which can protect against drops, but can even drop a Storm from here from the high ground. I have a High Templar over here, and then I have the one over here. So never keep them together. Also something that I had to learn the hard way until I watched the big boys play, and I was like, hey, Parting, you're getting way more Storms off than me. I wonder why. Well, it's because his High Templar position was a lot better. I drop a Time Warp here, which I really like. I could unfortunately not get the Storms that I wanted, but I still like that Time Warp. Get a couple of feedbacks off. He's gonna stim, but I really like my position right now. There are no Vikings. I will still have a couple of High Templars with Storm. I drop Storms. I have 2 upgrades, which is even right now, but even is not bad. Obviously, you'd rather be ahead, but if you feel you have Colossus and High Templar, even upgrades is good. And you guys can see I cleared his army up, and now I'm like, hey, I'm actually think I'm gonna win this game. He's gonna try to drop here. I did not actually react properly to this drop, but no biggie. Warped in a couple of units, still had this little hit squad here, so we'll take care of it. I started hugging the destructible debris, because apparently you have to attack move these days, and I was just right clicking, so I was like, it's so cozy and warm. But obviously you should just destroy it. Yeah, I know right now I do not want to give him the time to get a lot of Vikings out, so I took care of the drop. I have a warp in pylon over here. Get a couple of Stalkers. I do not have too many Storms right now, because I think I left a couple of High Templars in defensive position. Yep. So I feel like I can still escape with this army if I really have to. I do have one High Templar though, and even though I didn't have the energy yet, boom, 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 his moment was coming. He drops the good Storm with those 2 Archons. Stalkers taking out the Vikings, and I actually win, and in my opinion, an impossible game to win on, which I thought was really cool. And I think there were a lot of things that I did right in this game. And every now and then, if you guys watch my stream, you guys can see that I'm really hard on myself, and I actually get semi-depressed when I keep losing. But if I feel I played really well, it also makes me really happy. And this was kind of a game where I was like, wow, I think I did really a lot of stuff right. So I want to share it with you guys.